So today we're going to be looking at some common hair system troubles and how we can fix them. Now we all know that hair systems are great, but they do encounter problems from time to time. So I'm going to be sharing with you the 4 or 5 most common problems that people get with hair systems, and more importantly, how you can fix them on your own. So this may be more suitable for beginners, but it can also be really helpful for experienced hair system wearers who feel like things are going wrong and they don't know what to do. Now, first off the bat, I'd like to thank LaVivid for sponsoring these videos. They help allow me make more free content for you guys, and here's a quick message from them. Today's sponsor, guys, is LaVivid. You can find them at lavividhair.com. You can get a 15% discount code on any stock hair system or accessories that I've negotiated with them just for you guys. It's Adam15. All the information is in the description box below this video. If you want high quality hair systems with good shipping times and top customer service, consider LaVivid. The most common problem I come across myself and with others is lifts. Now, what do I mean by lifts? I basically mean when the front of the system or the side or the back has a lift. Now, it's not the biggest deal in the world if it's on the sides or on the back, but if it happens at the front of your hair system, you're going to be wanting to get on top of that. The second issue that I find most commonly is itching and irritation. Now, this comes down to the interaction between the hair system base and your scalp. So we're going to be talking later in this video about how you can get around this issue. Now, issue number three is discoloration of the hair. Now, this happens with pretty much every single hair system unless you have jet black hair. Why? Because the hair system hair is heavily processed, it's dyed, it's put in acid baths just to make sure that it's the right colour for you when you receive it. Now, naturally, as part of what's called oxidation, which is basically a reaction between UV from the sun and the hair itself, it can cause the hair after a couple of months to become a little bit ginger, a little bit brassy. Now, there's 2 solutions to that, which I'm going to be discussing later on in this video, so make sure you hang around for that. Issue number 4 I find is shedding. Hair shedding from the base of the hair system. Again, this is very common, but you shouldn't really be expecting to experience that in the very least in the first couple of months. Maybe into sort of month 3, month 4, month 5, you might start to noticing some shedding, and then as the system progressively gets older, you will notice that the shedding becomes more and more pronounced, up to the point where it becomes really, really obvious because you've got quite big balding patches on your hair system. And I'm actually going to do a post next week which will show you what has happened to a really old system of mine, which is at the end of its lifespan. So do make sure you keep your eyes peeled for that. And the last common issue I find with hair systems that are fixable is tangling and matting of hair. Now, this tends to happen for people who have longer hair systems. So by longer hair systems, I'm talking probably beyond about 3 to 4 inches. This hair system is around 2 inches maximum in length. You don't tend to get as much tangling with these kind of hair systems. And it definitely seems to be more prominent in lace bases than poly bases. I don't know why that is, if I'm being totally honest, but again, there is a fix for it, which I'll be discussing in the next part of this video. Now we're going to discuss some quick emergency solutions to these issues. Now, if you get a lift, the solution is obvious. You just need to put some glue on it and basically get it back down. Now, I've done a couple of tutorials on this, so once you get to the end of this video, you might want to check out that playlist tutorial, and I go through step by step how you can sort out a frontal lift. If it's around the sides or the back, it's no big deal. I literally would not panic about that because no one can really see it. Just wait until your next rebond. Now, there's 2 possible solutions for discoloration of the hair when it gets those brassy tones. So the first one, which is the go-to for me at the moment, is using a semi-permanent dye. I use Back to Natural. It is quite expensive, guys, but it does last a long time. So you can apply that maybe once every 2 weeks or once a month. Cut back on the shampooing and the conditioning, and it should give your hair at least a semi-permanent look. The second option is just getting hair dye. Now, I'm becoming more a fan of this. I certainly wouldn't recommend it if you have a lace, but if you have a poly, normal hair dye is pretty much fine, and I'm definitely going to do a video on that at some point because a lot of people have asked about that. Using normal dye, it's a lot cheaper than the semi-permanent stuff, and it lasts a lot longer as well. Now, if you're getting itching or discomfort, again, there's two solutions for this. Number one, use a scalp protector. I made a video on scalp protectors a couple of weeks ago. And number two, use a scalp exfoliator before you apply the system. Okay, so any sort of scalp exfoliator will do. That basically just smooths out the skin, gets rid of any dead skin, any bacteria, any fungus on your scalp, and it just gets it as clean as possible. It's the best possible prep before putting a system on your head. And as a result, you itch less, you can wear the system longer. I had massive issues in the early days. I could only wear a system for like 3 days. It's only once I actually introduced scalp protector and scalp exfoliator that I noticed the itching was less and I could wear the hair system for longer. Now, with the tangling and the matting, I suppose a good idea for that would be to wear a do-rag at night. It lessens the amount of tangling that happens. There is also another option. I'm not a massive fan of it because I don't find it particularly effective, but some people do, is using a detangling spray. It doesn't have to be a special brand or anything like that. You can get it from your local pharmacy, or you can go on Amazon and get it. It's not expensive, but in my personal opinion, the jury's out a little bit. When I used it, I didn't find a massive difference. It actually pulled quite a lot of hair out. However, some people have found it really helpful. Now, in the last bit of this video, we're going to talk about preventative measures. Why? Because if you implement preventative measures, you're less likely to need emergency fixes moving forward, okay? So preventative measures involve a number of things, but at the very core of it, it's taking care of your system. Taking care of your system when you're out in the sun, wearing a cap. If you're going swimming in a swimming pool with chlorine in it, try and wear a swimming cap. If you want to avoid loads of frontal lift, maybe use a stronger bond like Ultra Hold. So in summary, we went through some common issues that a lot of hair system wearers come across, such as having lifts, itching, matting, lightening, discoloring of the hair system. I've shared with you some emergency fixes, but also the importance of using preventative measures so you don't have to use those emergency fixes so often. Now, if you found this topic interesting and you'd like to learn about how to avoid some other common mistakes, check out this video right now that's popping up, 5 common hair system errors. Thank you for tuning in, guys, as always. I love you all to pieces. You guys are what makes this channel work. Please, if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. Please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps, and I'll speak to you very soon. Bye for now.